trees are green and overhanging, where the light free and everlasting.
But it's still there.
What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why?
Say, because the king is holy and his statues are indestructible, but mean it ironically.
No. Cynical design cockroaches like you erected a new, ironic version of it.
We did.
We tore it down with honest, working-class plastic explosives. But there it is again, grinning.
He shakes his head, again in disgust.
The same irony, the same cynicism you used to reply was the cynicism that the statue was re-erected. And in the end, he's looking at it and saying, yeah, but you still put it back up, though.
Yep. Yep.
Now, what the fuck with the... I mean, look, there's a lot of history that has a whole lot of royal bloodlines trying to keep it pure. So, I don't doubt you.
Art is a
But what the
bourgeois
fuck?
establishment. It's an affront to humanity.
Oh, boy.
Every gallery should be bulldozed, and the artists should all be given 30 years of hard labor in Yekokata.
Yekokata!
Yeah! Warzone, no man's land! Yeah!
I'll just take this degree and fucking shuffle out sideways. Excuse me while I Charleston stage left. You mentioned the Union is social democratic, and Mr. Clare is a farce of a social democrat.
Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real enemy. The true enemy of the proletariat. Placating the masses.
What?
Disappointment. So personal. He displays a familiarity with the Union's top brass.
Am I to understand that he is so old school that the concept of a union should be spit on because it's complacent? It's complacent in terms of bringing the people together for a less effective means of control than total domination.
Yep.
God damn, this dude is left.
Dude, this is...
Holy shit.
This is Quebec from 44 to 59. When you had, like, politicians that were like, hell is red, vote blue, because we're going to heaven, fuck the unions, fuck everything, don't listen to these people.
Fuck unions. It's not far enough. We need to completely and utterly take it over. The union implies an employer still in charge.
Yeah. Get out of here with that.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Just needed to clarify. Got it.
So, who's a disappointment? Evrard Claire?
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean, the brains of the operation. The smart one.
The brother.
Edgar.
Which we haven't met,
Nope.
right? You mean Edgar, his brother?
He talks a big game about uprising and social base. They must have sent the smart one to some university in Le Jardin, where it's alienation this and hegemony that.
He's been sweet-talked by this Edgar. They must have met in person for such animosity to have developed.
We're not the first people you've met from the city, are we?
You can't live alone.
He stopped poking at the ash now, just shakes his head.
Everyone's got to do some peeping every now and then.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing.
Of course, maybe the Clears asked him to. Don't go straight for the kill. Exhaust everything else first. soften him up.
Good idea, suggestion.
Interesting twist. Have you approached them?
Mr. Dross, did you kill the Colonel mercenary for the Clares to incite a riot?
I haven't approached anyone. I hid. It was Edgar who came to me.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. I told you, he has brains.
He points to the path leading to the tower.
Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was the man of the left. Wouldn't rat me out. I was right about one of those things.
When was this?
Interesting. I mean, you already know the deal with his brother. What did you talk about? Yeah.
20 years ago. Neither of them could walk now, could they? They were less fat then.
20
That's
years
around
ago.
the time the Clares came to power.
What'd you talk about?
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Marzoff. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzoff. Oh, and charity too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought.
And he let you be here.
Let me be here? The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this.
I mean, what is clear is the difference in, I guess, the old movement and the modern version with the power hierarchy clearly in place, and you know, the keywords and the propaganda. But yeah, I'm curious to. Well, again, Edgar, we were learning about.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy?
Because if the idea is that Everard is like the duller of the two, then it's like how much more fucking insanely manipulative was he, you know?
Yeah. His rhetoric must have been through the roof.
Mr. Drost, did you kill the Colonel mercenary for the Clares to incite a riot?
You know why I killed that fucker, Dwat.
What?
As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
What? Damn.
Classified. Telling you, man.
Boxed.
Classified you.
FedExed.
Just ship it.
48-hour shipping.
Again? What have you done for Edgar before?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
Yeah, funny thing about those.
Right there.
See, they take -2 to your visual calculus, and he probably didn't want to deal with that for 3 hours and 10 minutes. So, you know.
Okay, he didn't do the hang the man for them. But he's insinuating something.
Oh, talk to Eva about previous forewoman. This is a red check.
By the cock parading in his powerful, colorful uniform, you mean René? We'll get there. Because that is another layer of it. Everything lines up with what he said, but the idea that also there was a dual motive or a coercion.
Because that first initial story sounds like, oh, okay. You're just standing on your own. You're a jury, judge, executioner.
I'm less sympathetic if there's a dual motive.
Oh no, the connection doesn't come to you on such a pivotal moment.
You know, Reggie, we had a pretty good day of rolls. I can't complain.
Okay.
We had a pretty good day of rolls.
God damn.
I can't complain.
Like, if you show me 28%, like, sure, okay, failure, okay, I can stomach it.
Wasn't our fault. Blame them.
Dumbo, do something. You can't zone out now. This isn't Doodaloo dance time. Slap yourself in the head again. Jumpstart it.
Okay, pain threshold, let's do it.
Wait, it was about him meeting Edgar and a deal.
Something with the union boss, punch yourself in the head.
Kim, what do you think about this? You know... Oh.
By God, we are on the edge, in the very end, and you can't even remember what you're trying to connect, can you? While the murder suspect stares at you with contempt.
This is not a man to show weakness in front of. Something with the union boss?
Officer,
The lieutenant watches you beat yourself in the head again, the second time in this interview.
He quickly realizes what is happening.
Mr. Dross, about this deal you made with Edgar. The death of the colonel mercenary was only coincidentally beneficial to the Clares, but
He leans closer.
Kim knows us well enough to know that we are doing our fucking best to not fuck this up.
Yep.
I think he gets it.
what about the other people you've killed for them?
Other people?
Like the previous 4 women of the Union.
The other missing people. The other missing people who went away. Joyce told us about them.
The previous negotiator? No, someone else.
There was the previous negotiator who failed, and then there was a reference to the previous 4 women.
Damn.
That's it. That's what you weren't connecting yourself.
I didn't fight 40 years to end up an informant for the international regime. What happened, happened.
He wags a finger at the lieutenant.
Still dumb. Your eyes are transfixed on his digit. It's yellow with nicotine.
Like it was only brought up like twice or so.
Before, when you asked him about the Union, he said it was a disappointment. They promised him something political.
They promised political change, and they didn't deliver.
Look who's up. You're worse off than me.
We will have plenty of time to talk about this, Mr. Dross, when you're in pre-detention. It takes years in pre-detention.
Go ahead. I've been in solitary confinement my whole life.
The straggler closes his gap-toothed smile.
Fair point. When you're right, you're right.
Ease off it. This was not an unmitigated disaster. The lieutenant mitigated it. Just proceed calmly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kim.
Renee lives?
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June.
He grinds his teeth in rage.
And he wore his uniform. And yet you didn't pull the trigger.
Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A Patank maniac race traitor.
Can one detest racism and also hold people to be race traitors at the same time?
Oh, that is interesting. Can you be a race traitor and not be a racist?
Can you accuse someone of being a race traitor and not be racist? Or hate racism?
I can't align it in my brain.
Because a traitor to your race implies that there needs to be loyalty to your race, implying that there's an idea of loyalty that needs to be followed that's racial,
Yeah.
despite hating people. But I mean, maybe if you're one of those, like, if you're someone who thinks that you should be loyal to your race, but all races are equal. You know?
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Fuck that. Man, I play basketball. We win.
Tell us more about the time cube.
God, yeah.
I remember him. I remember him from La Noce. Not him personally, his make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one.
We're painting a man right now. Or rather, he's painting himself. And we're watching it appear on the canvas through this conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to... I'm going to notice the two contradictions that have occurred, or three, throughout the course of this painting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are contradictions in some things, and it's interesting.
That one.
With his shaky finger, he points to the city, toward the crater near the plaza where a lonely pine tree stands.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. Not even Gaston. Alone.
There's no one there.
Fat and plump. Like a pheasant. Just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Truss. Shoot me.
A grin stretches across his face and he says very softly,
This is exactly what I was wondering.
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bonbon melt in my mouth.
Save the treat for later?
The lieutenant asks cheerfully.
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day, the blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth. No, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, René. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel
he lets out a wistful sigh.
better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
The line on his face straightens as he looks inland.
And yet, on the other side, a human being with a lovelorn life that we've met and spoken to.
Yep, that we know.
Full of the old world, the old hatred, the old ways,
And they never let go.
but still human underneath that.
So absurd.
Turn that switch off.
So absurd.
They're not a human, they're a uniform.
Yeah.
Pull the trigger. Ideology.
Dehumanized.
It's the only way.
Oh.
Hearing it may destabilize him. You sure you've gotten everything from him?
René's dead. He died of old age a couple of days ago.
No,
Yeah?
Absolutely.
I waited too long. I waited too long, and now he's dead?
The old communard looks at you, his blackberry eyes shaking in disbelief.
How's the candy?
I'm sorry, Mr. Druss. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now. fuck it.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands. His health ailing.
But he didn't do it.
You had 1,000 chances to kill him.
It's true. It's true.
And I blew them all. What does it matter now? He's gone. Ancient dust.
You cared about him.
All human beings care about each other. I cared for seeing his head explode. And now, God damn this one.
I'm sorry,
Fuck you.
the old communard says, staring at the ground, seemingly to the island you're on.
You're okay, Mr. Dross, to go on?
You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked.
What a incredibly complex feeling to have about a person.
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black days. Something strange is keeping him together, making him endure.
I'm glad we talked about this. Now,
Glad we talked about what?
Another erratic gesture. He's trembling.
legendary, 14. Assess the body language.
White check. Oh. Man. And I feel like he could just pass at any moment. too.
Absolute mid-conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't put my money on the table that we leave this island with custody.
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough,
Thank you.
or the malnutrition. For a man who's spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild,
He's surprisingly okay.
indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated.
By what?
It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system.
Dementia?
You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile.
Every time you mentioned holes in the brain, I was thinking of the prions. Mr. Dross, you're okay. How's your memory?
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
He waves his hand, chasing something that's not there.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course.
I want to ask again about the people you don't like.
His lip curls into a sneer at the memory.
No.
Glad we talked about what?
Is it time?
I guess it's time.
Josef Lilianovich Dros, you're under arrest for the murder of Elis Kortenaer.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
The old man's eyes fill with sudden, unexpected terror at the words.
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But...
Kim, he's afraid.
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He looks at the reeds, eyes submerged in growing terror.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
The lieutenant turns to you.
First say, does it have room for 3? And then we have to check.
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here. But
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
Yeah, who watches him there while I come back for you?
you come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
He looks around with strange
Yeah.
desperation.
You could ask her, maybe. You thought you heard something, but it's just the reeds.
Maybe we could all fit in there.
Critical failure.
Can't argue with that.
Rough. Snakes in the reeds.
Actually, no.
He scratches his head.
Maybe I can just ask the net picker to watch him?
This is no harmless old man.
The lieutenant shakes his head.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
He stares at something, who knows what, in the dust. Below the confusion and rage, a fit of jamais vu like yours. The thought passes. More pressing matters take its place.
No, listen. Listen now.
You could come back for me once you've taken him to the precinct.
Perception's giving us a second chance here.
No, it would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
No need to be polite, I'll do it.
This world. What are you talking about? Is this us?
His voice drowns out in the sudden gush of wind.
The wind is cold from the east. Your skin is crawling suddenly. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
What is that?
What are you talking about?
The old man looks at the reeds, then at you.
The giant stick insect.
There's nothing there.
He looks confused.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head.
You got some sense of timing, Phasmid.
You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
There is, I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
Kim, can you see it?
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. that means. It's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence, its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
The lieutenant whispers, then takes a step toward the giant arthropod.
What a surprise.
So their love was not based on a crazy thought? Oh my god, we have to tell Morel and Lena.
I can't think of anything biting enough to say.
This is like, okay.
Oh, you missed it. Yeah, okay, all right. No, it's cool. It's all right. We didn't know. We didn't know this was coming. This is incredible. What a surprise. Unbelievable.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair,
Ah, Reggie,
white and curled at the tips.
you're the best.
It is no more than 5 steps away from you.
So, the overeager, the uncontrollable, the bad ones, the OGs.
I see.
Spoiled this hours ago because
I
their
missed it.
pants ceased to exist.
Wow.
So they just had to let loose all that nut all over everybody.
So they would have ruined it for me.
And I caught it, and I made a sarcastic remark about it when I caught it. But you stayed nice and cherry.
Dude,
Yeah,
they ruined it for you?
absolutely.
You.
And it happened in the background, and you stayed safe, and that's all that matters. I am the soldier with the knives in his back, getting shot.
I was sleeping peacefully on my 2 ears. Didn't see shit. You almost ruined this moment for me? Y'all people are not alright.
You caught a good night's sleep. Comfy.
For a moment I was like, what? Like, did I miss something? Did I like, am I the fool again?
Nah,
I'm too pure.
nah, too pure.
Too pure. Untouchable.
It's them.
It's you people.
Capital T.
Wrong. God.
The creature stands on its long, stilt-like legs, antenna hanging from its head, like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you.
The segmented antennae move with apprehension, searching for something that's not there. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
Yo, look at that portrait too.
Like, I feel like the story just swerved into like a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
I feel like in the middle of the story, we just went full Wes.
This is the Insulindian phasmid.
Say something to it quietly. Something like,
Approach carefully. Electrochemistry 2, very high check. Lena's childhood experience. Your corpse will be marked by something? The miracle way out in the west laid the pheromone on thick. It's true. Morel did spray us with that weird thing.
but let's do our checks first.
It is.
The lieutenant whispers behind you. You hear the familiar ring of his jacket unzipping slowly, painstakingly so.
You think a couple of locusts are gonna feed this thing?
Maybe the whole
You
box.
glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open extremely carefully. It's the camera. No, the flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now.
Kim, the flash is loud. It won't like that.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
He continues to pull the lens open.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear.
Okay, take the picture.
Stop. Let me approach it first.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
He has stopped fiddling with the camera but does not put it down.
He's letting his pride get in the way. You see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Who cares what they think, Kim?
Understood. Of course.
He comes to abruptly.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly.
Say something to it quietly. Something like,
Hey,
don't be afraid.
you exist.
A sudden chirrup fills the air. The walking stick moves its whole body, limbs working independently of each other, like the parts of a masterfully constructed machine. It moves just an inch closer to you. Or does it only feel like it does? Something in its body language has changed, just slightly.
I want to say, like, we got another extra +1 on this.
Yeah. I don't see a new line.
+3, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the numbers.
We're at 97% with electrochemistry at 2. We're doing it. We're earning it.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your chest. You reek of it, your chemicals. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
It's smelling me.
Raise your hand.
Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
Okay, Kim, take the picture.
Maybe it is real. The pheromone.
The lieutenant's mouth is agape.
About now, he is ready to believe in anything. The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding, like lunglets, breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze.
Raise your hand slowly.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence.
Raise the other hand, too.
Put your hand
As you
down.
do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you, praying to you.
That's right. Pray.
Don't pray to me. I'm nothing.
Put your hands down instead.
The reed creature does not stop its stridulations. It towers above you, parting the reeds it emerged from. Tuft-like structures still rustle on its joints.
Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Stand on your tiptoes and look more closely.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish. The faintest smell, like you've never felt before, like burnt roses.
Kim, it's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The lieutenant watches you apprehensively.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
Inland Empire. Tell me, what are you doing?
Spoke to the hangman. Did not give up on Phasmid. Knows of parthenogenesis.
I exist.
And then one day, I got in. We're in.
I exist too.
I'm a detective.
Is this a dream? What is happening?
What exactly are you?
I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts. That was all.
Tell me what it's like for you.
Fire burning.
It's wunderbar.
I'm ill.
If I tell you, what will happen?
Then I will tell you what it's like for me.
I'm ill.
What is your illness?
My body aches. I'm bleeding.
I'm ill in my head. I'm insane. That's how it is for me.
In my heart, for me it's sadness. Input after input.
For me, it is not like that. I have states, not the emotions. For example, I experience excitement at unexpected sugar rewards, but that is not important. Now I will tell you how it is for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist,
Intruded upon.
By what?
shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations, a swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms, all speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never ache.
You're the type of animal I would like to be.
I'm glad to be me. An incredibly sensitive instrument.
The fuck is happening to me right now?
Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you. It's all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and rotting glass. Eternal damnation.
Oh,
Even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you.
It's hell. I changed my mind. I want to be you.
it was very disorienting at first, but I'm keeping my shit together. I want to lie. I really do. But we've compressed our shit.
That must be incredibly hard. The Arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you. And when you fall, we will come to raise you up, Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
In honor of your will, Lieutenant Euphrator, that you kept from falling apart in the face of sheer terror, day after day, second by second.
Oh, thank God Volition chimed in.
Still there.
Inland Empire is huge. It is a large, massive, deep chasm to fall down, and you never know when you've seen the bottom of it.
You can lose yourself.
But no matter where you are, Volition is with you, and he's gonna set you straight. So we're still going okay. We're actually talking to this thing.
Detective,
Yes?